Good morning, Atlantis, and a special good morning to you today, Megan.
Good morning, Houston, and thanks for that song. Thanks to my husband, Bob, and I'd also like to say good morning to all the curious monkeys in my family, Sophie, Vincent, Sedona, and Paulo. Remember, guys, there's no stopping curiosity.
And we agree with you, Megan.
And so begins Flight Day 3 for the crew of Atlantis as the shuttle heads toward its date in the sky with the Hubble Space Telescope. The wake-up call this morning was Upside Down, performed by Jack Johnson. It was played for Megan MacArthur, who is now just a few hours from reaching out and grabbing Hubble with the shuttle's robotic arm and beginning in earnest the tune-up of the telescope that has been planned for so long.
The twin orbital maneuvering system engines on the tail of Atlantis firing, supporting the altitude increase to support the rendezvous with the Hubble Space Telescope. The glow in the center is the vertical tail of Atlantis, the twin orbital maneuvering system engines, the OMS engines providing 6,000 pounds of thrust each. The burn underway, 3-minute, 17-second burn.
Atlantis, Houston, good burn, no trim required.
Copy, Houston, we concur, thanks. Houston, Atlantis for Star Tracker.
Scooter, go ahead for Star Tracker.
Hey, Houston, Atlantis can report that the Star Tracker is not the only thing that can see a star on our horizon. Looking out the COAS, we see that star approaching from the east.
Hey, that's terrific news. I guess the last time we've seen Hubble up close was March of '02, so that's great to hear. Thank you.
We hope to get a lot closer, so we'll continue.
Good call.
Houston, Atlantis, 200 feet.
And Houston copies, thanks.
From 200 feet, the Hubble Space Telescope, first time it's been seen since March 2002, the most recent servicing mission. Atlantis essentially station keeping while the final command sequence being completed before moving in for the final approach to grapple. This view of the minus V3 side of the telescope, the first spacewalk of the 5 planned during the mission, will essentially focus on that little area, the white strip that is the location of the Wide Field and Planetary Camera 2. The first task of the first spacewalk will be to swap that camera with a new improved Wide Field Camera 3. The Hubble Space Telescope delivered to space back in April of 1990. It celebrated its 19th birthday just about 2 weeks ago. The telescope is 43.5 feet long and has a 10-foot diameter of the forward light shield area of the telescope. It also, the 14-foot diameter is the equipment section and the aft shroud area of the telescope. Hubble has a mass in space of 24,500 pounds. There are 3 brackets on the bottom of the telescope that essentially will link up with the berthing latches on the flight support system. There are 3 of those latches that will lock the telescope in place on the flight support system for the duration of its servicing tasks while aboard Atlantis. Shuttle's robotic arm is in position and awaiting the commanding from Megan MacArthur, as she will be in charge of the shuttle's remote manipulator system for the grapple of the telescope.
Okay, that's okay. It's maybe drifting slightly left. Closure?
We're stalling minus 0.05 at 151 feet.
Okay, I just don't want to see the numbers get bigger.
Okay, we're opening now, 155.
Okay.
I'm going to try to shoot one off the bottom just to see if it
Okay,
takes.
AJ, I see you set up with body vector 5,
how many
pitch
angles
at
off do you think
270,
we are?
yaw 0, omicron 0. And I agree with that for a plus body yaw.
What's that?
I agree with you for a plus body yaw. Those are good entries.
Okay.
Looks like you got a good mark on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, we're switching the bottom.
Okay, so the range jumped, but that's because I went to the bottom. It should have jumped about...
About 135 to the 40 to the bottom. Okay, let me look at the monitor. Okay, that's not too bad.
I can't.
Can you do a subtended or no? Say again, Meg?
No, I'm good. You want to subtend it off the bottom?
Just for grams, yeah.
That's all blown up.
Wait, are your numbers getting smaller or bigger?
Smaller. Good program.
Well, we just jumped a screw. You're
Yeah, but
still
I'm-
holding. I just mean between the two numbers.
6.9, Drew.
Like a foot at a time, nothing big.
Okay.
Still getting small.
Good job.
That one stayed the same.
150 still, Megan?
It's a
This
good
is just more
question. We're
accurate
shooting the
'cause I hit
bottom.
the
We're
exact
about
same spot every
123
time.
feet now.
No,
Off the bottom.
135.
135, sorry. You're reading
I'm reading the wall.
You're reading DT? Okay.
Off the bottom of the telescope, right?
132 off the bottom. Yeah, we're going to have to shut off the flood lights, I think. Maybe moving a little bit right, Megan.
Very good, we copy 130 feet.
Okay, it's not seeing it there yet.
So shut off the IMAX floods?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to reflect off the lights too much, maybe.
So, what did you call about the Pontiac? What did you say? I assume the
130 feet, Scooter.
Okay, reconfiguring glasses.
Did you want to open back to 150 to do this
No,
maneuver?
I want to have opening
We
though.
got pointers, negative -6.
So we're going to wait for inertial.
Okay.
Long pull.
We're not opening yet.
Strong degrees. How about 3 minutes, Screw, for inertial?
350 miles above the Indian Ocean, Atlantis with the robotic arm in view, closing in on the Hubble Space Telescope, directly underneath the telescope now that the two vehicles are in the proper position for grapple. Inside 100 feet to Hubble.
And Houston, Atlantis, we have the telescope in the RMSN effector.
Rachel, we copy, and we're pulling down KU right now, and we see that. Thank you.
The bottom of Hubble coming into view through the remote manipulator system's end effector camera. This same view seen through one of the closed circuit televisions up on the flight deck of Atlantis. Commander Scott Altman carefully positioning Atlantis within 35 feet or so of the telescope, and at that point Megan MacArthur will maneuver the robotic arm over the grapple pin to secure Hubble to the shuttle's robotic arm. The equipment section coming into view with the aft shroud of the telescope. Behind those doors are the rate sensor units, essentially the gyroscopes that control the telescope's attitude. the white area, the Wide Field Planetary Camera 2 location. That camera will be swapped on the first spacewalk of the mission, replaced with a new improved Wide Field Camera 3. And just above that, coming into view, the forward shell of the telescope, the various equipment bays that provide all of the electronics packages for the telescope. And the grapple fixture now in view. Megan MacArthur now repositioning the shuttle's robotic arm to align with the grapple fixture on the telescope. Space Shuttle Atlantis, all of its thruster jets have been inhibited. It's in free drift.
Houston, Atlantis. Hubble has arrived on board Atlantis with the arm.
Atlantis, Houston, we copy. Nice job, Megan. Nice job on the Proxops flying as well. It's great to be back with the telescope.
Thank you, Houston. Appreciate the support getting us here.
Atlantis, Houston, we're still verifying that the HST to drift command took. We'll have words for you in just a moment.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Everybody's very excited up here, I can tell you. Houston, Atlantis for HST.
John, go ahead for HST.
Yeah, I'm just looking out the window here, and it's an unbelievably beautiful sight. Amazingly, the exterior of Hubble, an old man of 19 years in space, still looks in fantastic shape.
We copy that. Thanks for those words.
The crew has been given a go to perform the HST or Hubble berthing procedures. The first step, obviously, is to maneuver the telescope to the flight support system hover position. Once in position, the flight support system closed-circuit television setup will take place. The crew will perform those tasks and then configure the FSS or flight support system for berthing. Megan MacArthur now repositioning the Hubble Space Telescope high above the payload bay over the flight support system. There are 3 berthing latches that will hold the Hubble Space Telescope securely for all of the servicing tasks. And Megan MacArthur now releasing the telescope with the shuttle's robotic arm, the end effector now backing away from the grapple fixture as the 2 spacecraft cross the equator midway through the 32nd orbit of Atlantis' mission, tracking southeasterly toward the southwest coastline of Africa.
Houston, Atlantis for PDRS. We're ready to put HST survey and work on page 1-7 of the flight specific.
Mass, we copy, and we're ready for the HST survey. Atlantis, Houston, Scooter, I think I owed you an answer on the forward starboard and forward port floodlight question.
Okay, yeah, I had read the flight rules prior to flight, and it said 1 and 2 with the time limits and some marked port and starboard, so I just had a question on that.
Yeah, that's as we understand it. The forward port is the one that's flight rule restricted for time on. Now we're down the forward starboard because apparently it doesn't illuminate.
Well, that's figures. It wouldn't be the one with the limits on it that would fail. Noted. Thank you. And we're having a little trouble getting a switch guard to stay. We got a booty on it. We may tape over it.
No, that's fine. Whatever works for you. We're ready for activate HST external power, step 1.
Okay, good news. We'll put that in work.
Houston Lennox for HST. Activate HST external powers complete.
John, great job. Thanks for that. And we're just about ready to hand over here. And on behalf of the Orbit 2 team and the Goddard team, we'd like to congratulate you on a great job today with the rendezvous, the grapple, and the berth. It's wonderful to see Hubble safely aboard Atlantis, and we're all looking forward very much to a couple of great days of EVA.
Hey, Dan, to you, Tony, the entire team, both here and the Goddard folks here and the folks back at Goddard following along, we just want to say thanks for all the work that got us to this point. We realize we're just setting the stage for the main activity, doing the repairs on Hubble, but you got to get past step 1 to get any further along, and having Hubble safely berthed in the bay feels great to us. Thanks to you all. It was a team effort, and we appreciate the help.
Mission specialists Megan MacArthur and Mike Massimino are at the controls of the robotic arm. MacArthur and Massimino using the robotic arm, the cameras, to provide a close-up look for the Space Telescope Operations Control Center at the exterior of the Hubble Space Telescope. Hubble, of course, has been in orbit for more than 19 years now, since its launch on shuttle mission STS-125 in April of 1990. Subsequently, there have been 4 servicing flights, the most recent of which was STS-109, also commanded by Scott Altman, and included spacewalkers John Grunsfeld and Mike Massimino. All 3 of them are on this flight as well. That servicing mission was in March of 2002, and the telescope has been exposed to the conditions of low Earth orbit at an altitude of 350 miles since that time, to the extremes of heat and cold, to the radiation environment. And so the survey at this point is intended to give the Hubble team an update as to the condition of the exterior of the telescope. This live view from the aft end of Atlantis' payload bay, looking forward with the payload bay and the telescope pointed toward the Earth. You can see as they pass that the vehicles have overflown Baja California and are now over northern Mexico, about to cross the Rio Grande over Laredo and overfly South Texas. Current course will take Atlantis over the Gulf of Mexico and extreme southwestern Florida.
Megan MacArthur, who worked the arm and grappled the telescope. Scott Altman, our commander, who flew the space shuttle in formation with the telescope, going how fast?
17,500 miles an hour.
Very fast.
Formation.
Very, very fast.
Just like this.
Unbelievable. So Megan, how do you feel? What was it like?
I feel good. You know, it was very smooth. It was very straightforward. Scooter got really nulled out all the rates. It was just rock solid. It was like grabbing something that wasn't moving. So felt good. Glad to have that behind us so the EVA guys can get to work.
Now you're going to make us work. See,
exactly, yeah,
you were good up till then. But it did look like a statue, that telescope, didn't it?
Yeah, it was
Look,
beautiful.
it was moving at all.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You did a great. But you were happy after you grabbed that thing, weren't you? Yeah, that was a big challenge for you, wasn't it?
Well, it was good. It went just like clockwork.
All right, well, that's great. And Scooter,
sir,
what about you? What did you think of the rendezvous? How was it?
It was exciting.
Well, you said
challenges there.
You said it was a little fast. Is that right?
We came in. We had kind of a little extra closure, a little out of plane maneuvering, trying to get up to the telescope. Had to do some braking, and then the telescope wasn't rotated for us. We had to wait when we got there and then do a yaw maneuver, all this.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. See, it's just a furball with that telescope.
Gosh. But you are an F-14 pilot, right?
Yes.
So going fast, that's not a big deal. That was all right.
That was okay.
And it was just like the sim.
It was a lot like the sim, yes. I was glad we had that last orbit sim where we did the yaw at the wrong time, so that on this time we could do the yaw at the right time.
Do you think your Top Gun flying helped you with this, you know, in that movie that you did?
Well, I do, because see, we're like this. We're going around. It's sort of inverted like that. We were in a negative G pushover with the telescope at 18,000 miles an hour.
Right.
What do you think of that?
Unbelievable.
We've never been this close before.
No. All right, well, both of you, it's a pleasure to be on the same crew with you guys, and awesome job today.
All right, you get to work.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear you say that. Yeah? And what are you doing tomorrow with them?
These are our EVA and spacewalking tool caddies called mini workstations. They have our tethers on them, so we don't lose things. We can tether to stuff.
There you go.
We have our EVA trash bag to put little things. I'm not going to touch these very delicate bristles.
Right, there it is. Yes, very delicate.
We always check to make sure it's closed in the back.
Right, you want it zipped in the back as a zipper. That's good.
What do you got there, Drew?
Drew's got some fun stuff.
This is our safety tether.
Right.
And,
you always got to have that on, yeah?
You got to have these on. This is
Show the reel end, where it comes out, the reel. There you go.
Keeps us attached to the vehicle,
right,
so we don't let go.
Right, you're always going to have that on you. You're not going to let go anyway, that's just in case.
Steel wire is all that protects us from flying away?
No, you guys have other techniques and stuff to help you.
But we don't let go.
Right, you'll be fine. So how do you guys feel? Drew?
Yeah.
This is your first spacewalk tomorrow. What do you feel? What do you think?
Excited. I'm getting excited.
Yeah. You're ready.
Seeing Hubble come into the payload bay was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And, the rendezvous was fun, and now we're ready to go. We're getting off.
It's beautiful, wasn't it?
Work. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you, man. You're ready to go. You're going to do great.
I'm ready. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome, man. And John, this is like spacewalk number 714? No. Spacewalk number 6. Okay, great.
I'm looking forward to seeing our old friend Hubble, the Space Telescope.
Yeah.
And seeing if it's aged at all. I know I have. A little gray in the mustache here. But I'm really looking forward to going out and putting in the wide field camera. What's wide field camera going to do?
Unlock the secrets of the universe.
That's right. Unlock the secrets of the universe.
That's right.
Right. Okay, well, Hubble did look pretty good. I have to admit, it came in. I looked at those handrails there in the survey, John. I think you're going to be pleased. You guys are going to do great. You're all set, ready to go. Tools are ready. Wish you the best of luck. We're going to be there with you, talking to you from the inside. And here we go. Spacewalking starting tomorrow morning. Awesome. All right, Mike Good. You're very involved with that rendezvous today, weren't you?
Well, I had a very small bit roll.
Well, what were you doing? Tell us what you were doing.
I was shooting the telescope as it was coming in with my handheld laser.
Yeah.
And that gives us range and range rate, how far away the telescope is from us and how fast we're approaching it. And I got the new record today for Hubble, over 4,400 feet. Thanks to Alan Fox, my instructor. He really did a great job.
So what that means is you were able to get a distance measurement by shooting that laser from 4,400 feet. Can you imagine? I don't think there's any state trooper in a country that can fire a laser like that and come on. You got not just the range, but the speed on it too, right?
Yeah, it was going really slow though.
Yeah, that's all right. 17,500 miles an hour.
We're both going very fast,
right,
but the
so
relative speeds, but it was very exciting. I was very happy to get that.
Now, 4,400 feet, what was the previous record? It was like 25 feet or something like that, right? These guys, what's
it was
the previous
around 4,000, so I think anything over 4,000 was a new record, but nobody remembers, so I got the record.
I got a feeling now, since we've got this on tape, people are going to remember.
Yeah.
And this is the world record. No one's going to dispute it.
There we
Congratulations.
Go. Thanks, Mike.
Good job, Mike. Oh, he's going to ask us a question.
Mass, what's up?
Hey, man, we're floating around the middeck. We got you guys set for your EVA tomorrow. Grab the telescope. We're having a good time here.
Here, Mass, you want some M&Ms?
Thanks very much.
Hey, what'd you think of that rendezvous?
What did I think?
Were you on the flight deck?
I was on the flight deck taking pictures and photos, and my job was to, sorry, he remembered. I would probably eat him up. And my job was to help Megan, who did a great job, work the arm and back her up and help her out a little bit, but she did great.
And then you got some good pictures afterwards of the telescope?
We got pictures before. Hey, I got to move the arm around, some funky arm positions to look at the different solar array joints, and Yeah, it was a blast. I enjoyed it.
Fantastic. You guys are sending us out the door tomorrow?
Yeah, the highlights for me is going to be seeing you guys go out tomorrow. Mike and I will be in there keeping watch over you and trying to keep things moving. But we're looking forward to watching you guys spacewalk like spacemen.
Yeah. Great. We'll see you later.
All right. Do it today for you.
The rendezvous was not as expected completely.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, we expected to get to Hubble, right?
We did.
So that part of it,
Hubble.
that part of it worked out.
I didn't expect a fly out to do the orbiter body fly out, so that was moving the orbiter around and getting the right attitude.
A little more maneuvering than you thought,
a little more maneuvering.
But still.
It was a. And also didn't expect for Scooter's camera to be a line, then I'd be all washed out in the light.
So a few unexpected things.
A little unexpected.
But,
however,
if you look outside that window,
I see Hubble.
There's a telescope out there. So I would say you did a pretty good job.
It was good. It was good. I did a couple of the burns, the out of plane null burn, and a couple of the correction burns, but those were fun. And then once we got to Hubble, Megan did just a rock solid job of getting it with you, and then got out, got it in the sunlight, and got the survey done of the Hubble, and I also took the IMAX of the berthing.
Oh my goodness, we've got IMAX footage.
We got IMAX 30 millimeter, baby.
All I know, Greg, is if you look out there, there's a telescope waiting for us to start working on it. So all in all, a good day.
I have to say,
what do you have to say?
I have to say now, it's all up to you.
Okay, we're going to cut that part of the film. See you later.